Obviously, the approval of the U.S. Bitcoin ETFs has been amazing. It's the best-selling product, I think, in BlackRock, Fidelity, like the whole asset manager space for ETFs in their history. So they're loving the fees, all the AUM inflows, and obviously we're seeing on a daily basis a few $100 million of new fiat being pumped into the crypto ecosystem, which has obviously led for the prices to rise. So I think that's probably the big macro trend. Obviously, you have the halving. Everyone likes to look at the past cycles and divine how it's going to be exactly the same, but obviously every cycle is different. This is the main narrative of this cycle is sort of the addition of a Bitcoin derivative that institutional investors globally can invest in. And so we're really tied to those flows in terms of how the price action is going to eventuate. And I think having sort of takes a second step to that, and maybe it'll be a lot more pronounced in terms of its impact 3, 6, 9 months down the road. But I would say that we're primarily focused on what are those daily flows out of the US. Obviously, Hong Kong has approved its own spot Bitcoin ETFs, and those should be launched sometime soon. So in Europe, UK, everyone's trying to get out on this fee game in terms of the TradFi asset manager. So I think that's the trend, having a sort of second fiddle this cycle. We're in a great time. It's time to, strap it on, go long, forget about it for a while. Don't get too intellectual about things. All the alts are going to rally. The question for an investor is picking the one that resonates with you the most, being concentrated in your bets so that you're making the most amount of money given this particular point in time that you can. Bitcoin has a very good value prop. Bitcoin is crypto money. It's the hardest money in crypto. And so I know people are like, oh no, Bitcoin doesn't do anything. That's the fucking point. And so the conservative nature of Bitcoin is its biggest asset. So I'm not really that fussed that, okay, maybe, meme coins can or can't come to Bitcoin, or DeFi can or cannot come to Bitcoin, or whatever. As long as we keep being the best money that's ever been created, then we're doing our job. Why are institutional investors investing in Bitcoin? Because there's a whole narrative about the destruction of the sovereign bond market, which started basically as the Fed started raising rates in March of 2022. So there's a reason why people are allocating to Bitcoin, not just that Bitcoin exists, and so therefore I will allocate however many billions have gone into these products. There's an actual underlying issue with the markets that's propelling this. So if you take away the Bitcoin and it was still pending, I think we wouldn't be at an all-time high, maybe at 50,000 or 45,000, whatever it is. But we've rallied off of 16,000 after the FTX collapse, and that's all predicated on a lot of money printing from the Fed, BOJ, ECB, PBOC, all the major culprits in this fiat debasement orgy that's going on globally. And now institutional investors have a way to say, okay, I'm not just going to sell my bonds. Now I have something else to invest in that's not GLD. And that's why you have all these inflows. It's not just that Bitcoin's here and therefore I will allocate. There's an underlying economic tension there. Come out pretty strongly saying that taken to the extreme, that passive investing, and we've seen this in traditional equity markets, is toxic to price discovery. And so we'll see how large these asset managers get in terms of the percentage holding of Bitcoin and maybe some other cryptos and shit coins as well, and whether their passivity and their non-engagement with the actual underlying protocols and what we're here to do, which is, create a whole new financial system, does that detract from achieving that goal or not?